Hey everyone, welcome to another scene in Shadows of New Orleans. This is going to be a scene for Werewolf, and today we are going to have a new Garu coming to the set, but he's currently exploring the areas immediately outside of its territory, as it were, exploring some of the swamplands and things like that that are outside of the city, but also outside of the set at the same time. Um, we'll go ahead and let that new Garu take it from here, so that way we know exactly what he's up to.
Okay. So Jackson is. Oh, I should probably not focus on anybody's screen while we're live. Jackson is in like light. Sword strapped to his back, just kind of exploring the swamps. Like he's being careful, obviously, and like looking around him and paying attention to everything. But he's just kind of just exploring. He's heard stories about like all the weird shit you can find in New Orleans swamps, and he's just curious. So he's like basically not quite free running, basically on like a exploration sort of deal through the swamps.
Right. And I'm going to take the scene just very quickly, about a half a mile to a mile off, within the bond of the set. I assume Unchained is currently just chilling out with Victoria. Unchained is kind of just lounging about. He is doing his equivalent of relaxing, which is being in Lupus, laying down under a tree.
Victoria's standing at a slight distance from him while she smokes her cigar.
Unchained just looks at her. Why do you inhale smoke?
Because it makes you feel better, helps you relax, especially once you're used to it. Makes running through burning buildings easier because you're used to breathing smoke.
I have never been in a situation that has involved me being caught in a burning building.
And how many situations until recently had you even been dealing with a city?
You are right. Unchained does kind of suddenly perk up and then stand up, look around, and sniffs the air. There is someone new here. Someone we
Puts
have
out
met.
her cigar. He's gonna shift down to Lupus because it's faster to move. You have scent. Lead on.
And Unchained is going to start to head out and start looking for this new scent.
Okay, yeah, he's not exactly like he's not really hiding where he is, so you could be able to track him by scent pretty easily and by like not audio but like sound when you get closer.
He keeps sniffing the air and is looking at tracks and things. Hmm. There is a wolf here. My guess is though he is Hamid. He walks through here carelessly.
Well then, better get him before he does something stupid.
Out of character, I'm sorry, Joey. He has no primal urge.
It's all good.
Um, Eventually, though, as Jackson is walking, Um, Unchained is gonna. He's not trying to get like. He's not trying to sneak up on him or do some kind of crazy bullshit. He's just going to suddenly come out of some brush and just kind of look at Jackson.
He's kind of like crouched on like a stump or something, kind of like taking a break from his exploring. He just kind of looks at the wolf. So he was in Lupus or Hamid? I didn't catch actually.
Lucas.
Okay, that's everything. I didn't want to miss him. So he just kind of looks at the wolf and kind of just raises it and says, and tilts his head and says, "Woof."
You'll hear a growl behind him.
He'll just look behind him.
There's another wolf.
And he kind of breaks into this really wide grin and kind of goes, "Ah."
Wait, he grins?
Yes, because I know exactly what's gonna happen.
Unchained growls at him.
He kind of looks at Unchained and goes, "Ah, shit, I forget. It must be one of them. Either you're an actual wolf or..." And he kind of is like thinking. And he just kind of tilts his head to the other side and says in Guru speak, although it's obviously very like not quite accented, but not quite right since he doesn't have a tail or anything in Hamid. And he just kind of says, "Brother?"
I do not believe we are from the same litter. Though I am fellow Garu.
He kind of chuckles and says in, again, Guru speak, it's just a figure of speech, so to speak.
Comments have many of those. No offense.
He'll nod and shift down into Lupus.
Oh, wait, he was Hamid the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh. All right, my bad. I thought he was in Lupus.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
I actually have a wolf picture for him.
We'll sniff a couple of times. So who are you, Child of Thunder?
He will, kind of assume the pose of a Gurubat to give their formal introduction. And say, Jackson Williams rings around the world. Born on 2 legs, under a, out of character, it's full moon for Arun, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Born under a full moon to the tribe of Grandfather Thunder. Yeah. Because I never know where that fucking fits into the introduction, so.
I think everyone puts it in different places. As long as you get all the information, I think it's all good.
Yeah.
Was he saying that? Wait, was Jackson actually saying that?
Yes, he was.
Oh, yeah, if Jackson says that, Unchained will respond with, it does not matter, really. I am Unchained Impulse, listening moon of the Red Talons. 5th rank. Out of character, Jackson can totally know he didn't mention his breed.
He will nod and look over at Victoria.
She'll come around closer to Unchained, so that they're kind of both in front of you-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll kind of sit down and say, Victoria Luning, Stormcrow's daughter, child of Grandfather Thunder, Cleoth of the nation, born on 2 legs of the half moon.
We'll give another nod and shake. And when he shifted to lupus, his fetish, it became like this lightning bolt shaped patch of white fur on his back.
All right, that's pretty kick-ass out of character.
And I'll just kind of shake and say, as a question,
He'll shake and do what?
and he will ask, hunting? They were
Yes.
hunting. Oh, sorry.
I'm glad we were just finding another Garu and not killing a human that's straight too close.
Head 90 degrees to the left, tilts his head the other way, and then just kind of shrugs it off.
That's the closest thing to friendly he's gonna get right now. He's trying, goddammit, he's trying.
And Jackson goes,
Small talk.
Jackson just says, oh, Big Mac of the Bone Nars?
Yes, she serves the weaver meat.
There's just kind of this look you get that he gets for about a good 10 seconds as Jackson is just going, what the fuck does he mean by that? Oh. And then he nods and says, did she take you to the Yellow Arches?
No, she has not. He tilts his head. He actually looks. He's like, what the fuck?
The Golden Arches, a worm-infested weaver building of food dispensing.
Yes.
Worm and weaver infested. Why have we not destroyed this place?
Because it's more weaver than worm, and it's in the city, and the city.
Why have we not destroyed it yet?
I don't know for certain. I don't know for certain it's wormish, but it sure looks it. Let's just get my gut instinct telling me.
He'll basically make a very sharp exhale. Almost implying, it's almost as if there's a sigh implied there. Not quite sure. And he'll just say, it will go on the list then. We can purge that at some other point. From what I understand, though, it seems that there's more pressing things to deal with.
Purging is my favorite. Just kind of Jackson just kind of says like, not quite under his breath, because I don't think you can do that quite with like Guru speak, but in like their equivalent of under your breath.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, he'll say, were you looking for the set?
I was just looking.
For the set? Or...
Not in specific.
Very well.
You see Vicky's eye twitch for a moment, and then she kind of nudges with her head off in the opposite direction of this sept. She says, about 10 clicks that way.
Look at her, nod.
What is a click?
It's a Hamid unit of measurement used in military organizations.
Very well. Victoria, you can tell he didn't understand that. But he's
That's
going
why she's not going to try and explain it more because she could end up confusing herself trying to explain it.
And he just kind of is looking at the other two guru, and he says, "Want to hunt?"
he looks over at all the he looks like at the trail that Jackson made as he was moving around, and Unchained will respond with, "Yes, it seems you could use the experience."
And he just nods.
Yeah, he'll kind of bite. This isn't very hard. This is more like a nip on Jackson's ear. It seems almost as if that was playful.
Hmm.
Lesson 1: don't make so much noise when you're wandering around. You scare off the prey.
Well, I wasn't searching for prey, but I still got exactly what I wanted.
To be found?
That
And he
is
just
what it
kind of
sounds
nods.
like. Unchained looks at Victoria like Unchained doesn't have the ability to vocalize the emotion that is evoked when someone says bruh. But that's the look.
And she just kind of nods her head like, uh-huh. Yeah, I get you.
Either way, we shall go. Just try not to step on too many sticks.
He'll nod. And on an added character note, he actually has stealth too, so when he tries, he's actually not half bad at it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So as
Pretty
they're
good.
hunting, yeah, as they're hunting, he actually won't step on too many sticks.
Alrighty.
I'm currently at 6 dice for stealth, but I can jump up to 10 dice if I wanna.
Wait. I, surprisingly enough, 5. I just have 5. Which isn't bad, but it's not necessarily the best. But goddamn, does he know where everything is? Primal Urge 3 is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, mine's only 2.
Hashtag Hamid Life 0 Primal Urge.
Hey man, trust me, I know that feel. I play that most of the time.
He'll not necessarily bounce off, but kind of slink off to look for something to hunt.
Shall we follow your pupil?
He'll look over to the side, look back over to Jackson, and he'll say, he will find it eventually. And he'll follow Jackson. Like he's had like his. I assume that Unchained got some kind of trail, but he wants to see where Jackson ends up going. He's curious about that.
So Jackson will start heading deeper into like the swampy part, sticking to like the not going in the water, like sticking to whatever he can find that's actual ground. Like using the underbrush for cover and stuff. Start tracking down a crocodile.
Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah,
bruh.
that's what he's tracking down. He wants to. He's not going for some puny prey animal. He's an Aron.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no. Unchained's kind of looking at the. He doesn't quite know what's happening right now. He's like, rings around the world. Why are you going in this direction?
Well, we want to hunt big prey, don't we? Strong prey.
Prey is prey. Doesn't matter as long as you are satisfied. What are you trying to find?
And he kind of thinks he's trying to think how to phrase this because he doesn't know if like Unchained's ever actually like encountered a crocodile or an alligator.
He's fucking out of character. He's probably encountered one. He just doesn't know he doesn't know what it's called.
Mm-hmm. And he'll think the water lizards that hunt in this area. There's better prey.
Okay, Victoria gets the same face that she got earlier.
She's just shaking her head like, uh, oh, yeah. That's the response he gets from her. Is, yeah.
Those big water lizards live. They live in the water. They do not come out often. To hunt one would mean to fight it in its territory, where it is ultimately stronger.
He nods and he says, "Alert out."
Why?
Oh no, I could say something really bad.
I mean, he could say the really bad thing. Like we can go down that train.
I'm trying to decide if this character is really gonna say his responses are either I need a new pair of boots or I want to test myself in this new land. And I'm trying to decide which of those he's more likely to go with given his personality.
I will note if he says I could use a new pair of boots to the Red Town, that may go that would go in a whole different direction.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like
And he finally ends up saying, "These lizards are great hunters, yes? One of the greatest hunters of this area. Well, since I'm new here, I have to establish dominance by hunting one of them, shouldn't I?"
you establish dominance by being dominant. You are full moon. This is a hunt, not a fight. They are different things.
And he kind of tilts his head to the side as he's like thinking.
Save that strength for when it is truly needed.
And then he kind of perks up and says, "Well, then what kind of prey animals are there here? I haven't smelled any of the usual." Because out of character, I don't even fucking know what like prey animals there are in New Orleans.
I'm pretty sure there's rabbits, which Unchained calmly goes into a fucking bush and gets a fucking rabbit.
Kind of looks at it and says, "Will that really feed anyone on Sept?"
There are other ways that the Hamadgaru and human kinfolk feed one another. It may be small, but it is still full of quite a bit to keep you strong. A hunt is not about being the best. It is about getting what you need to survive.
And he kind of tilts his head from side to side again.
Yeah, I feel like Unchained is speaking Japanese to him right now.
Kind of. He just kind of does that nod that's like, I'm just gonna agree with you to keep this going, but I don't really like, I'm just kind of saying yes.
Damn, that's legit.
And
You
he's
don't
gonna
hunt just to hunt. You hunt when you need to. When you need to feed. When you have to feed your kinfolk.
kind of looks at Victoria. And folk always need feeding.
They have food right now. They don't need feeding.
And he's gonna kind of look at her and say, how can you be sure?
Because I got a boat out of it.
And then
If no
he
one's eating this
kind of,
rabbit, I'm seeing this motherfucking rabbit. Yo, he ain't letting that shit go to waste.
as he's eating the rabbit, Jackson just kind of says, with not quite completely stone or like straight face, 99% straight face. What's a boat?
What languages does he speak?
English.
She starts rattling off in some Eastern European language.
Well, I am going to say that unless y'all in common, I don't think y'all can speak people.
She's using the language, using the tongue of the Geru. People wouldn't understand it, but it's basically jarbled Geru to you guys.
He'll just kind of side and look to Unchained and say, Unchained, what is a boat?
It is a weaver device that flies on the water. It swims in it like a fish on the surface of it.
And
So
Victoria just lays down and covers her face with her paws.
it's a weaver fish. I see.
Vicky's gonna
He's
take
just
her paws off her face and get up and just start pacing almost anxiously.
Do you smell or hear something?
She just shakes her head no.
We'll kind of get up then, way towards Victoria, because now he's kind of getting a little worried because she's kind of just anxiously pacing around. She's kind of making him nervous. So he's like, kind of noses her right quick, and he says, "Then why are you so nervous?"
And she glances at Unchained and then at this new guy. And then back to Unchained. You remember when you did that right on me when we brought stuff back that one time?
Yes.
I sometimes hear whispers even though they're not around, and it sets me on edge. So I'm being vigilant of myself.
I have heard of this problem you have. Tell you what I believe on it.
She waits for him to continue.
Humanity is the worm's greatest weapon. What your opinion on them is, the result is the same. I do not know these. I do not know all of how it occurred to you, but I believe that the best way for you to overcome it is to let go of your human mind and start to embrace your wolf heart more. For that is what can fight off what ails you.
If you can tell that a wolf is thinking and contemplating something, that's the look she has.
No, that's fair. Unchained has that look most of the time. He's like an intelligence for a wolf, so he has it like almost constantly.
There have been rumors among the humans about berries that grow that are rare nearby and cleanse the body and mind. I may look into them, see if they can help.
For something so intense, it may take more than simple berries. Though, it is a good start. Everyone must start somewhere.
As the worm has been fairly quiet of recently, discovering rituals that they've hidden has become very difficult.
I have learned how to of the worm. If it means ultimately fighting for Gaia, I will go into the city with you to find these rituals wherever they may be so we can stop them.
Just gives a wolf head nod. Kind of a very matter-of-factly yes.
If you are so inclined. No, actually, wait a minute. Let me take that back. That's too human. He wouldn't say it like that. He'll say, also, if you want, we can bring rings around the world. I am sure he wants a fight.
If he's available and at the time, bringing more to battle the worm is never a bad thing.
And Rings Around the World just pops out of a bush holding a rabbit in his snout. Kind of just walks back over to the group with like kind of like that. You know how dogs have that step they do when like they're kind of playful and kind of excited, like a kind of really bouncy step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how he's walking over them with the rabbit in his mouth.
Are you hurt?
So he gets around the rabbit in his mouth and the fact that he's not used to speaking in lupus.
You should put the rabbit down before you speak, so that way we can hear you.
He sets the rabbit down and says, "I am not hurt. Why?"
No reason.
He kind of like frowns with, and then kind of just nods and starts eating the rabbit.
I think I will listen to my wolf heart. And it says it's time to run. Run free. She starts to turn away and begins bounding off.
She's okay with this. Actually, do we want to keep going with this scene, y'all? Because I'm not sure there's too much else that we can really do.
Yeah, I think we're good to end there if we just want to say like they end up parting ways after like hunting a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, uh, unfortunately, Unchained isn't necessarily what you'd call a conversationalist.
That's fair. So yeah, I'm fine with saying that. So thank you players for playing, watching, and stay tuned for more. Oh, and remember, don't let the Red Talon teach people about Weaver devices.